definite slot of community. I would love to ask a question to Summer. I know she had a background on social impact, and I would like, to ask more about it. What are your experience on it, and what have been your experience with social impact on the Web3 so far?
Yeah, that's a very good question, actually. So I never thought Web3 would be like a more accepting uh, community to join, like based on how heavy the project I'm working on is. And like I've got like very positive feedback. Like a lot of people are very interested in like knowing more how they can help, like in little ways. And like it's been amazing. So this project is in collaboration with People DAO, but like based on like how so People DAO was hacked, we really have resources for marketing. So I've been doing mostly one-on-one people, like cold DMing and texting people. But people have like been responding like very positively. I won't lie to you. But also like another like very huge like plus for Web3 is the fact that the government has no ties and no affiliations with the funds being, and they cannot influence how that is operated or what that is for. So like that already like completely gives us like a upper hand on the government, since like they're majorly the basic factor for why people are being trafficked and why people want to be trafficked from Nigeria. And it just like cuts off that angle of being centralized and being in the system, and then like being rejected funds or like having to deal with like bribery and corruption and things like that. So like it just removes like a completely different layer that would have taken a different toll on this project and the process in general. So yeah, like shout out to Web3. It's been amazing.
Get into the space?
I'm sorry.
When did you get into the Web3 space?
November, October 2021, I think. Yeah, October 2021.
So it's been a couple of years.
Yeah, it has been.
Do you have a full-time job?
No, I quit my full-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So in addition to People DAO, what other DAOs are you contributing to?
Now I'm looking into City DAO, and that's a Metagamma Delta. I haven't started contributing anything yet. I'm just like, you know, just looking where it's like best to be involved with. That's why like I'm so down boarding for metagame. I'm super interested. Sashi recommended it, and yeah, I just want to see like how much I can learn. Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, it's been very welcoming, like day. So I'm really excited. Like people who I can turn to, like if I'm some difficulties, I know there will always be there.
We're not just a bunch of idiots.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, for those who weren't on the onboarding call, we had a troll in there. So if you see Tib, T!B, you should ignore him.
Good morning, everybody, and good day.
Good day, Co.
I'd say we've already started, you know?
Yeah. Our first guest on the list, I think we have, is Ramon Ninetails from Meet with Wallet, who we were just talking about. And really, really awesome integration that has helped with my empowerment, our empowerment as freelancers, being able to connect with different types of organizations that we might not be able to due to choices that we've made. But Ninetails, you want to hop on and introduce yourself and then tell us a bit about Meet with Wallet?
Definitely. Thanks a lot for this lovely introduction. I might not agree with everything that you said, but anyways, super happy to be here again. Well, I'm Ramon, one of the founder creator of Meet with Wallet, which is a calendar for Web3. We are evolving the product. There's a lot of stuff that we want to do there. But today, honestly, I'm going to talk slightly about a different thing, and for two reasons. And let me share my screen to make things a little bit easier and more clear. For fuck's sake, I need to give permissions to share my screen. Just a second.
Apple, always asking for permission.
Always asking the right questions.
Always asking, are you sure you want to do that? Think differently.
At least it asks you.
I know,
Of course,
right?
yeah.
Sorry guys, I have to head out now because I usually end my work day at 5 p.m. and this is 5 p.m. so I gotta go.
Well,
Thanks
no
for
worries.
coming,
Have a
Zoomer.
lovely weekend.
Great
Nice
to
to
see
meet
you.
you and
Bye.
hope we meet again. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back, Ninetails.
I am back. Can you hear me? Yes, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Does Discord have permission now?
I hope
Just
so.
I'm teasing.
But not only that, he decided to download updates. Why not,
Oh,
right?
cool. Timing, yeah, that's wonderful.
So let me share my screen. Cool. Why am I talking about a different thing today? First, I had this presentation ready, which makes things easier. And two, I think it's a super relevant topic that is worth talking about. So today I'm here not only as the founder of Meet with Wallet, but also as the head of product for ZK Sync. And I want to talk about this lovely topic, which is account abstraction, which I have to say, it's the worst name the second worst name someone invented in crypto and Web3, because it means nothing for anyone. So what I actually want to talk is this pathway to mass adoption of crypto technologies. Please feel free to interrupt me at any point in time if you have any questions, if you have no fucking idea what I'm talking about, but hopefully you will have an idea pretty soon. Just a second. So I find the right screen with my slides. Okay, let's start this. Why is it changing this slide? Okay, so what the hell is mass adoption? Let's start there. Mass adoption is about my grandma going to Uniswap, exchanging USDC for Rand Dodge, and going to farm on some shady website. This is definitely not what I'm talking when I say mass adoption. So what does actually mass adoption means? Let's imagine this crazy hypothetical scenario where there is a country where corruption exists and population is really not aware of what is being decided by politicians or have super low confidence on election results. I know this is super far-fetched to think, but imagine or even believe me, there are some countries like this in the world. I'm from Brazil originally, and I've been living these kind of things for a long time. So what does this mass adoption means? Let's imagine the opposite of that. Grandma wakes up as she does every morning. She turns on the TV to see the latest news, and she hears about this new law proposition that will be included to be voted. Government wants to make university education 100% free of charge for everyone. For young people, at least. This is a topic that she deeply cares about because it affects her granddaughter. She has already made her decision and she's going to vote right now. She gets her smartphone, opens the official app for public voting, picks her option, and validates her vote by simply pressing her thumb against the screen. She's happy that she contributed her opinion, and she's also aware that somehow this vote is private and anonymous. She doesn't remember the exact details, but her granddaughter explained this to her at some point in time. What grandma doesn't know is that she just submitted a transaction to a public hyperchain that is used by the government of her town. The biometric information is used as the signature verification in her smart wallet that was initially issued by the government itself, but is now 100% self-custodial because her granddaughter changed the default ownership of this smart wallet. Because the granddaughter was one of her social recovery contacts. So now grandma's wallet is secure. After all, she also gets her pension in this smart wallet. This hyperchain also happens to use zero-knowledge technology to ensure anonymity and privacy for every voter. And privacy, sorry. Grandma can prove that she voted if this is needed, but she doesn't need to disclose her option. And anyone in the town can actually validate the tally because the information is in this public hyperchain that is secured by Ethereum itself, also using ZK technology. So we are talking about transparency, security, ownership, self-sovereignty, and in most cases, or most of all, easy of use. This is what mass adoption looks like. Mass adoption happens when people don't even know or care about the technology they are using. When you go to fucking Twitter, you don't care if you are posting to a Postgres database or MySQL one. You only care the value that that technology is bringing to you. So what is preventing mass adoption nowadays? Not everyone is a developer. We must build for the average person, not the tech-savvy one. This was said by myself here today. But let's not take my word for it. Let's hear from someone that has a little bit more credibility. Good user experience is about the average case. It's not about the average case, it's about the worst case. So how is the worst case in crypto today? Or even better, how does someone get onboarded in crypto? Let's imagine this secondary hypothetical situation. You've been hearing about crypto, about NFTs, and you started getting interest into this space, into this story. And for some stupid reason, you fell in love with this NFT that you are seeing right now. Lucky for you, you just finished a job, and the guy that is going to pay you, he said he could pay you in crypto. So this is a really good opportunity for you to go and buy your NFT, right? And the NFT costs about $500, which is quite close to what the guy is paying for you to do this job in ETH. So you ask him to transfer the money, he asks you for your wallet address, and this is what is going to happen next. First of all, just a second, sorry. Yeah, you download the app so you can have your wallet address, right? You create your wallet. You pay, you get this secret seed phrase that you have no fucking idea what it means. You verify the address, seems correct. You share your wallet address with the person that is going to pay to you. Money is sent to you. He sent you actually USDC. He sent you the $500 in USDC. Now you heard, okay, but someone told me that I need ETH to buy the NFT and told me that I can swap on this Uniswap thing. You go to Uniswap, but you don't have ETH for the gas, so you can pay for the swap. So, okay, I need to buy ETH in order to get ETH, apparently. Okay, you send money from your bank to a ramp service to fund for the gas. You buy ETH to fund your swap, awesome. You go back to Uniswap. You send the ETH to your account. You go back to Uniswap and you swap your USDC for ETH. Perfect. Now you can buy your NFT. Then you go to buy your NFT at OpenSea. You get there and you figure out that you actually can only buy using Rapid. You said, okay, so let's go back to Uniswap. You wrap all your ETH and perfect. Now you can finally buy your NFT. You go back, you don't have ETH for gas again because you just swap everything for Rapid ETH. This experience is actually real. It might even be slightly correlated to something I've been through at some point in time in my life. The experience that we have for people being on board in crypto is super, super shitty. So, okay, how do we solve this? With this terrible thing called account abstraction. Or better, with proper user experience. What does account abstraction brings? First, what is account abstraction? Account abstraction basically means that both EOAs and smart contracts can kind of be treated as user accounts in the end, which means that you can start programming your accounts instead of being just like this public and private key. You can have things like social recovery. You can set spending rules for your account. You have flexible validation. As I give the example, even like biometrics can be your signature. You can have multi-call and sessions, meaning instead of going to the NFT marketplace, doing a lot of approvals, selling one by one NFT or buying 10 NFTs, signing 10 transactions, you can actually create a cart and sign all of those transactions at once. You can create sessions when playing a game saying, hey, for the next half hour, I authorize this contract to run transactions for me up to a certain amount, for example. So you don't need to keep signing transactions every time that you are doing something in the game. And you have multi-token gas, which is super cool, brings utility for most tokens. And you can, within your protocol, say, here you pay fees in fucking Dodge or whatever better token you can think of. What is the status of account abstraction? The EIP for 337 was, well, it's still open for a lot of time with a lot of discussion, but was finally recently deployed, at least the first version. But the EIP per se, it's still under discussion. But we do have a first version of 4337 of account abstraction running on EVM chains. How does it work basically? It creates this secondary flow where the smart contract accounts have a separate mempool, have the separate bundler that will send the information to this entry point and will process all of the transactions. Although this is already super cool, there is one caveat here. Paymasters, and I'm going to quickly explain what is a paymaster soon, is not supported by EOAs within the regular flow of 4337. And you have the secondary infrastructure that is needed. So how do we take this a step further and make it even better? By implementing account abstraction natively in a protocol. ZK Syncera, which is a ZK rollup, EVM compatible, which is now live, implements native account abstraction. How does this differ from 4337? Basically, we have a single flow. Both EOAs and smart contract accounts send transactions to the same mempool, which goes to the same bundler, which goes to the same entry point contract. And both of them can use paymasters. This makes the experience like much, much better because you can give super incredible features even for regular users with EOAs. What is a paymaster? Basically, a paymaster can sponsor transactions for other users. This means that application developers can subsidize fees for their users or allow, as I mentioned, their users to pay fees with EIP20 tokens or any kind of crazy thing that you can do with a paymaster. So you could decide first 10 transactions every month is like is being offered by my protocol. You can have only pay the fees if the user holds a NFT. You can pay fees in any token, as I said. You can increase the utility of application-specific tokens. In the end, it's literally anything, because this is a smart contract. And not only the paymaster, but as I said, the smart account itself is a smart contract as well. A quick conclusion, and then happy to hear a little bit of questions or anything like it. Improving the user experience is key to mass adoption. We will not be able to get a lot of people using crypto if everyone needs to be super secure with their private keys and understand like the dark concepts of signing transactions and things like that. And not sure if you guys seen this week, a lot of really old accounts have been hacked and no one knows like actually how did this happen. Account abstraction allows us to have way more secure accounts. ZK Syncera, as I mentioned, is IO2 rollup powered by ZK EVM. I invite you all to go explore and give feedback if you want. We implement account abstraction natively at the protocol level, and paymasters are super awesome. I've been able to both create a paymaster already and use a few paymasters. The experience is super nice. It really shows how we can better onboard many more people into this space. Just some final slide with my contacts, some information about ZK Syncera, etc., etc. And this is kind of it. Thanks a lot for hearing what I had to say. Questions, curiosities, anything?
I have one question, and it's kind of a simple one. What does EOA stand for?
Yeah, good point. EOA is an externally owned account, which means the regular accounts that we have today. Your MetaMask account is an EOA, basically.
Gotcha. And I might have another question. Are you familiar with Keep, K-E-Y-P?
Keep, K-U-I-P. The name is actually not weird, but I'm not remembering what is it.
Okay. Then my question is probably not going to make much sense. So maybe I will ask you in a DM.
Okay, please do.
But anyone else have any questions? This is phenomenal technology and a lot of issues that we've been working on.
Is my mic coming in? Okay, yeah.
I'm curious, you just share a little bit about how you got into the Web3 space?
I've been into doing like product management for digital products for like, let's call full-time jobs, Web2 companies, regular ones, for a long time, and for many startups that I created, none of them super successful, aside from meetwithwallet that is going fairly well so far. But over the last, I would say around 5 to 6 years ago, I started getting a little bit interest into Bitcoin, into Ethereum, started trying to invest, and of course, lost a lot of money. This is one of my key expertises, is to do bad investments. But that was like kind of it. It was only like looking at this DeFi side of things. Then three or 3.5 years ago, something like that, I got the opportunity to join Aragon as the head of product. Aragon, the DAO platform. Not sure if you are familiar. And this is the moment that I really got way more deep into crypto, into blockchain, and started understanding how much more far we can take this technology than just DeFi. Like DeFi is super cool, is the first super important step, but we can do a lot more interesting things. Like I'm honestly super eager to see a moment where this scenario that I described, or something fairly similar, can actually happen, where population starts being free again and starts owning its own information, its own assets, etc. And since I joined Aragon, as I mentioned, I've been going deeper and deeper into the space and things that can happen. And in October, if I remember well, I joined ZK Sync to be the head of product as well. And I've been more deep into the base technology of L2s, of Ethereum, EVM, ZK rollups, etc. And account abstraction was one of the things that I said, oh my God, finally we can make things, we can bring the Web2 experience to Web3. And we can do this kind of super cool things where you can create a smart account for your users. He doesn't need to be aware that it exists, but at some point in time, as this user, he or she grows into the knowledge of blockchain, he can actually make this smart account be self-custodial and take ownership. So this processes of onboarding more and more people into crypto and really scaling the value that crypto can bring. This is something that nowadays really, really interests me. So has been this first initially just as, hey, this, like I can try to make money, but failed. But then really got into, okay, what else can we do? And with meetwithwallet, which is the current startup that I also founded, how it's all about, again, ownership of information, right? How can I give a platform for people so they can manage their time in a way that they are not sharing this information with anyone else? Like they are not sharing with Google or Calendar or whatever. What are you doing with your time, basically? Did this answer your question?
Oh yeah, I'm a product person as well, so maybe I'll be reaching out to you.
Please do. Totally.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I've got a question for you, Ramon. Or
shoot me.
Could you give a high-level summary of account abstraction, like a simplified version?
I should be able to. In blockchain overall, you have your account, right? Which is nothing more than a pair of keys. You have a private key and you have a public key that is responsible for all the cryptography part, where you can send information and you can own your asset. This is fairly complex for the regular humans to understand and to take care. And it doesn't allow you a lot of flexibility. It's as simple as, hey, I can send transactions, and there's no way to create flexibility, sorry, for the account. So you cannot have things like social recovery. You cannot change the way you want to sign transactions. Account abstraction basically means that instead of using this, as I mentioned, EOAs, which is the super simple account, you can have smart contract accounts, smart wallets, which is a smart contract that you can code literally anything. It's a program. So your regular account becomes a programmable account, let's say. What account abstraction does that was not possible before the implementation is that smart contracts cannot initiate transactions. He cannot act as a first-class citizen in the blockchain saying, hey, I am doing this transaction. He can only receive transactions and forward them. Account abstraction mainly brings this, it abstracts what is an account. So it says everything can be an account, kind of. So literally allows forget about the technology part. On this user experience and value part, it means that now we can have programmable and smart account. This is the main takeaway, basically. As an additional, a little bit of on the technical side, the EIP on Ethereum has been discussed for a long time, and the way it is implemented right now, although it's not ideal, it was decided to do that in order to not change the Ethereum protocol. Otherwise, it would require a hard fork. The difference to ZK Syncera is, given that we were still creating the protocol, we were able to say, and let's implement this natively and really change the game on how you can leverage account abstraction. But anyway, understand that, hey, this is a smart programmable account. This is account abstraction. Thanks, everyone. Please feel more than free to reach out, send DMs, send emails, and pigeons, fire, like smoke signals, whatever you prefer. Super happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us, Ramon.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Follow you and follow the project. Next, we have, I meant Ramon.
I'm still
Is Synod not here? I think let's go ahead and have Amenak come up from DAOLens. Tell us a little bit about and then introduce us to DAOLens.
Absolutely. Hey everyone, GM. It's a pleasure to be here. Musashi, thank you for setting this all up. And loving the vibe of the community. It was really a fun presentation by Ramon for sure. So thank you for having me, guys. A quick introduction of DAOLens, and I'll start with mine first. So my name is Amenak, and I take care of partnerships here at DAOLens. So about DAOLens, a quick introduction. We started off like a year ago, and the sole purpose of the entire organization was to make it super easy for folks to get started with their journey in DAOs. So the idea is that we know how difficult it is to operate within a DAO, within a Web3 community in itself, for that matter, right? Because like the entire structure, the tooling infrastructure behind DAOs, it's very much scattered, it's very much broken, right? So to streamline that, to make it easier for folks coming in from the Web2 space, especially to get started with their DAO journey, what can we exactly do? So that's where we launched our first offering, which was an onboarding solution. Now, right before this community gathering, we were having a discussion on onboarding. I think I should have jumped over there much prior to when actually the discussion started, because the onboarding platform that we have created, it's basically Musashi, am I audible? Just to check.
You're fine. I messaged the wrong person in DM.
Oh, okay. I just thought that I've been just speaking and no one's able to hear me, but it's fine. Right. So the onboarding platform that I'm speaking about is basically a self-serve engine. Any admin of a Discord server can basically deploy a customized onboarding flow for their community, for the new members of their community, and the people who are joining the DAO, they can essentially understand what this DAO or this community is all about. When's the community call happening, how they can contribute, what's the role that they can choose in the Discord server, etc. and etc. So that it's much more easier for those people when they actually join the Discord server to get started. Because right now we know how messy Discord servers are, right? So this kind of an onboarding platform, it really makes it like really easy. But to the second offering, which is our flagship, community management platform. Now, that is what essentially is helping DAOs solve a lot of different problems, whether it's not losing context history, whether it's uh, having a single platform where you can manage all the different operational aspects that goes on. And the reason behind this kind of a platform is because right now what really happens is we have a Discord server where someone gets started with a conversation like just by sending one single message. That discussion then grows and then it is transformed into a discourse forum discussion, right? Once we get a temperature check from the community, then it is probably taken to snapshot for voting. So this is the third tool, by the way, which we are just touching base on. So snapshot voting is done, then you're probably like creating a bounty, or we're probably creating some kind of project. So we are going to rework, or we are going to Asana or something else. Right now, this is the fourth tool. Now next, we are supposed to pay people out. So we are using Coordinate or Gnosis Safe for that purpose. So in like any scenario, there are like at least 3 to 5 different tooling platforms that you're jumping between if you're working within a DAO. And let's suppose you're a member of 3 different DAOs, you're already jumping between 12 to 15 platforms like that, right? And it doesn't really make sense because you lose a lot of context and it's very difficult to navigate within, like get a hang of what exactly is going on within the community and actually acquaint yourself with all of these different tools and actually contribute in the community. So that is an issue, and that is what DAO Manager is solving. Basically, we are solving through DAO Manager. So what I'll do, folks, is I'll quickly start by sharing my screen and I'll give you a quick walkthrough of what the DAO Manager is all about. So folks, let me know once my screen is up and running and we can get started. I suppose it should be.
Yep, you're good, bro. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Yeah, looks good.
Perfect. So basically, folks, this is the DAO Manager platform by DAOlens. Now, I've already logged in, so I'll just quickly get started from the very basics first. I've logged out right now. Now, if you've logged out, if you come to this platform, you can see this is kind of a discovery page right over here. This is kind of a discovery page. You can see what all communities are active over here, are operating over here. If you're a member of, let's suppose, Uniflux community or H3 DAO community, you can just simply click over here and you can just join the community. But for that, you will have to log in. So let's start from there itself. So when I click on login button over here, I have multiple options to log in. So now, of course, I can use any of the wallets. So we are trying to make the platform as much chain agnostic as possible. So we have MetaMask, we have Solana, we have Aptos Petra wallet over here, we have Near wallet over here. But let's suppose you're getting started with your Web3 journey. So you want to just sign in using your Gmail, you can do that. But otherwise, you can also use your Discord to sign in, to log in essentially. And that's what I'm doing right now. Now, once I've logged in, so this is my account, which I've created using my Discord. And I can see I'm a part of all of these communities over here. Now, the idea is that once I've created a community, once I've basically logged in, I have two things. I can operate within any of the community which is already created. Otherwise, I can also create a community from scratch. So all I have to do is click on that plus button, and I can import a community from Discord, or I can create one from scratch. So importing from Discord essentially means that a DAOlens Discord bot will be installed in the Discord server, and it will basically synchronize the roles that are there in the Discord server with this workspace on the DAO Manager. Now you can do multiple things with those roles. I'll show you as I go forward. And another thing is that you can also synchronize the events that you're creating on the DAO Manager on your Discord server. But otherwise, if you're creating from scratch, it's just a very simple 3-step process. You just need to put in your community names. I'm just writing test for now. I'm just filling up some details. You can select what type of community it is, and you can select what type of modules, what actually should be the workspace display essentially. Like, so for example, when I say modules, what am I referring to? Modules essentially means what you're trying to achieve on the DAO Manager. For example, are you trying to manage your discussions on the DAO Manager? You can enable that. So a discussion forum will open up. If you want to like have your documents on the DAO Manager, you can enable that. Similarly, if you want to list down your events, create sub guilds or spaces for your sub DAO management, you can enable that. If you want to manage bounties, just enable that. Projects, courses, proposals, just like that, you can enable all of these things. Now, again, like I was saying, Discord to discourse to snapshot to dework to Gnosis or something else, you are able to solve all of those things over here. You can have your discussions, then your snapshot proposals. It's integrated with snapshot in two-way manner. Then you can have your projects or bounties, which are created out of it, and you can also pay them out using the platform itself. So when I click on next, now this is the final step. I can integrate with a lot of different other tools. For example, if I haven't, like if I chose create from scratch and I still want to connect my Discord, I can do that. All I need to be is the admin of the Discord server. I can also connect a wallet for payments. I can connect my snapshot from here. I just need to put in the ENS address. I can also basically migrate all of my data from Discourse. I just need to put in the API address, the URL, and my username. Idea is that we would not want to lose all of the historical discussion data that is already lying there on Discourse, right? So you can simply migrate all of that over here. Another thing is you can also enable Discord notifications. So the idea is that we know that not all of your Discord space members, Discord server members will be jumping onto the DAO manager. So how can you notify them about a new bounties that is created, about a new event that is created or something else? You can just connect your Discord notifications for that. Once I click on done now, my workspace is created over here. And this is an empty workspace. So let me do one thing. I actually took the liberty of creating a workspace for metagame earlier. So I'll just go over here and I just, pre-filled a couple of details. So essentially a filled workspace looks like this. So like since I am an admin of this space, I can see what announcements there are. Like I can list down these announcements over here so that any community member can just have a look at them. I can also add a new announcement since I'm the admin of the space. I can also store some documents like a white paper or playbooks. I can just store them on the very front page so that anyone can just have a look at them. To invite members, I'll simply click on this. I can invite them as regular members. I can even invite them as admins. Now, before I jump on to what all these modules actually do, let me show you what all things you can do in the settings menu. Now, if I go to the settings option, which is of course only accessible to the admins, I can edit the profile of the community. I can edit the permissions. For example, who should be able to manage or access or engage with what on this workspace? Like who should be able to manage channels? Who should be able to manage bounties? I'll simply click on edit and I can say, should only admins be able to manage channels? Or now this is the very fun part. I can say if a person has a particular type of token on this chain and this is the address and like minimum number of these tokens they have, and they should also have an NFT. And I can also say they should also have a Discord role. So it's completely up to me how I would like to restrict the accessibility of any of these modules. I can just select Discord roles. I can select bounty level. I can select XP level. So if you have been working hard in the DAO, you've been earning some XP points, then one day you can probably engage, basically manage bounties in that way because it was gated in such kind of a manner. So it's completely up to you how you'd like to set up the restrictability of the platform essentially. Next thing, you can also invite folks as admins. You can also like add folks, like for example, if you have more than 100 a particular token, you can become an admin. Otherwise, you can invite them by their email addresses as well, or just send them this particular link. Next thing is, if you have not integrated when you were creating the community, you can do it over here. You can add a wallet for payment over here. And there are multiple wallets that you can add, like Phantom Wallet, Petra Wallet, MetaMask. It's also supporting Gnosis chain. So you can also add that. Apart from that, you can enable your notifications from here itself or Discord server. So this was essentially the settings menu. But now coming to the main workspace where your community will be hanging out, these are the modules which they'll be touching base with mostly. So if I'll go to bounties, I can create different types of bounties. So like, for example, I've created these sample bounties. I can see what's the due date. This is the skill set that I would be working on. This is like 0 submissions have been received. 500 XPs I can basically gain from completing this bounty. But if I click on create new bounty, I can show you like there are multiple types of bounties that you can essentially create. It's not just about creating a submission based bounty, which is again gated, so you can restrict it to anyone. For example, if there's an executive level bounty which you're creating, then it should be available for only those people who have more than let's suppose 1000 XPs on this platform. You can actually create it in such kind of a manner. And if you're saying that, or they should have more than 100 tokens, you can actually create it in that kind of a manner. But that's just a submission based bounty. Now, let's suppose you say that, let's create a Twitter task bounty. For example, follow this page. You can just simply click on this. You can add the handle of the page. You can also say, reply to this tweet, join this Twitter space. You can just add these different things. So folks will have to just connect their Twitter. And once they join the Twitter space or reply onto something, they will be good to go. Similarly, you can create multiple other types of bounties like join Discord, join Telegram, Snapshot. There's a quiz which you can complete or invite different folks or free claim kind of bounties. Another thing is, so like this is the bounty module. You can see what all is completed, how many are missed and so on. But apart from that, if you go to projects now, this is where you can manage your project end to end. Like you can have a bird's eye view of what's really going on. For example, there's one in keeping and rewards 2.0 project that I found on dwork. So if I click on it, I can see what's in to do, what's in progress, what is in review, and what is completed. Another thing is I can also see like if there's any kind of subtask which is created under this. For example, this one has 5 subtasks. So I can simply view those from here. I can see who it is assigned to and what's the due date. So this is how I can also manage projects. Another thing is that it's available on most of these modules. There is an option to basically link these projects or any bounty or any discussion with each other. Essentially, for example, if there is a discussion happening behind a project, you can simply link that discussion in this particular project. So basically in this context history, I can see that this is the discussion that might have happened behind this project. Idea is that I'm not losing context. I won't have to jump between Discord snapshot to understand what's really going on. I can just simply click on this particular button and I can see like this is the insight behind it. Similarly for proposals, now this is something which is integrated with Snapshot. Snapshot is an amazing platform in itself for voting purposes. So you would just need to put in the ENS address for your community's workspace on Snapshot and you're good to go. It will migrate all of your historical data, historical proposals. Then you can continue making proposals over here and you can also vote for those proposals over here itself. Courses is something which we designed custom for one of the student-based community, but it has been on the DAO manager ever since then. So you can create courses, you can see like what all content is there in a particular course, who can enroll, you can see who has completed it. If someone actually completes it, they can earn some kind of XP points as well. So this is where you can also like onboard people through onboarding kind of documents and courses in that way. Documents is basically storing your documents on a single platform so that no one has to like jump between different platforms like Notion or Google Drive maybe to figure out where a particular document is kept. And these documents can also be gated. For example, along with courses, by the way, courses can also be gated, documents can also be gated. So if I'll click on add a document, I'll say, let's make a collection out of it, and that collection can be gated. So I can say that if someone has a particular Discord role, let's suppose marketing role, if I'm creating a creative guide, so I can gate it in such kind of a manner. Then there's events. You can see, you can basically create new events. And when I say create, I mean that you can add the banner, the title, the details of the event, what's the date and time for the event, is it in person or online, who's the host. Another thing is that if I'll connect my Discord, I will have an option over here which will basically ask me if I want to display this event on the Discord server or not. And if I'll enable that, in that case, this particular event will also be displayed on my Discord server. If someone marks themselves interested over here, it will also be reflected back on your Discord server as well. So this is how events essentially function. Next thing is spaces. So this is how you can manage your sub DAOs or sub guilds. For example, MetaFam is a sub guild which I saw on the website. So you can simply create a mini DAO manager in this main space of the DAO manager. For example, let's suppose the marketing team, they come and say that, we have a lot of bounties that we are doing. We have a lot of documents that we want to store. We have a lot of events that we are doing. So we want to create a separate space on the DAO manager. They can simply click on create space. They can write in marketing guild, something like that. And they can basically also gate it. So they can say that only folks who have the Discord role of marketing, only they should be able to access it. And let's suppose they should also have an NFT. By the way, there's also NFT attribute-based gating available with us. So essentially, if I'll put in the NFT address over here, it will give me 2 options, either the amount of the NFT, or if the NFT has attributes, for example, how BAYC has laser eyes, or something like, probably a weird kind of hat in the NFT, then I can actually select those attributes as well to gate it. So this is how spaces essentially work. If I'll go into any one of these spaces, I can see that it's kind of like a mini DAO manager within the main workspace of DAO manager. So these were all the modules, but the final one is the discussion module, which has one amazing feature, and we are calling it the Robin AI. But just to give you a brief into what the discussion forum actually does, for example, I've created this discussion channel. You can simply click on this plus button to create one discussion channel, and you can gate it for anyone. Like, again, in the same similar fashion, you can gate it. But like I've already created this discussion channel, I can see there are like 2 posts over here. So like if I compare this to discourse, on discourse, there are categories which are similar to discussion, similar to channels on the DAO manager. And then on discourse, you have, I think, topics, which is similar to post on the DAO manager. So you can simply create new posts by clicking on this button. You can add a tag. You can also ask Robin AI to write for you. It's a rich text editor, so you can do a bunch of stuff using these as well. Apart from that, you can also add polls. For example, if you want to get a temperature check from the community, you can also add a poll. And this poll can also be gated. For example, if you want some certain people to be able to read through a post, but only some certain people to be able to participate in the poll, you can actually set it up in that kind of a manner. Another thing is you can also create a checklist. If you'd like to create it one from a post, you can also do that. But instead of creating new posts, let me show you what Robin AI actually does. So I'll create a post, but using Robin AI. So right now I'm on this Dowlands workspace. I'll go to Cardano ecosystem channel where we are discussing what's really happening in the Cardano ecosystem. How is it decentralized and all those different things. I'll just delete this particular post because it is a bit irrelevant. So yeah, I've got these different posts. All of these are talking about Cardano. Now let's suppose in this channel I missed out on the recent post because I was away, I was out of office, I was just not touching my laptop. So I can simply ask Robin AI what are the key takeaways from this post, from the recent posts, or I can also ask my own question as well. But I've got a couple of prompts here which I can use. Now what Robin AI is doing, it is a GPT powered. It's kind of a DAO assistant for your DAO manager. It is summarizing all of these posts over here. It's trying to gather what really was being discussed about in these posts, and it will now give me a quick summary of all of these different 5 to 6 posts right away. So what I will be able to do is I will have a quick summary of all of these big posts, because I know for a fact that if you're going through a discourse discussion, people are actually writing all of their thoughts like quite comprehensively. So it takes a lot of time to get an understanding of what's really happening. So you can use Robin for that. You can summarize things. You can compare different posts. You can basically ask Robin to write for you. You can also ask Robin to comment for you, critique a post, write pros and cons of a particular post, or something like that. So once the content is written up for me, something like this, I can create a post out of it. Now, what Robin is doing, it's basically has created a summary. Now it will open up a modal for me, which I can use to further edit this summary and probably, add a poll to it, add a checklist to it, or like further refine it basically. Now, for example, here I have the content available with me. Okay, so it is coming with a black background. It does not really. So this will be resolved pretty soon. But there are multiple other things which I can do further. If I'll click on Ask Robin, I can brainstorm ideas. I can ask it to create a checklist or poll. But if I'll select all of this content and then I'll click on Ask Robin, I can further ask it to summarize. I can ask it to translate in all of these different languages. I can check the grammar. I can rephrase it as a proposal, project brief, or discussion. I can change the tone, make it shorter, longer. I can create checklists, create poll, and all those things. So let's suppose if I'm creating a checklist out of it. So now it will essentially extract the CTAs, the phrases which looks like we can create a CTA out of it from the summary that it has created for me from all the recent posts, right? So while it does it, we can basically have some read some fun things like Robin is flexing its virtual muscles, or Robin is putting on their thinking cape and all these different things. And in the meantime, like there are other things as well. You can add a checklist or poll from here, of course, but you can also link this particular post with any bounty, with any proposal, or any other thing that is that basically can be created out of this post. So again, no loss of context. Now, once the checklist is created, you'll be able to see it will be created in quite a broken manner. I mean, you'll not be able to understand if this is actually a checklist. But when I'll insert that checklist into this post, that's when everything will be refined, and you'll be able to see the checklist in a proper formatted way. So let's just wait for that to happen. Yeah, so I've got the checklist over here. When I click on insert, okay, now I can see that this is a proper checklist, right? I can also add new things over here. I can also assign these tasks to someone. The deadline can be put up over here. The urgency can be set over here, and any attachment can also be added. But let's suppose I would just want to post it. So I'll just click on that. And now I have a post ready over here. If I'll go inside it, I can further ask Robert to do a multiple things. Like I can ask it to compare things. I can ask it to summarize this post, critique it, make a comment, or probably create a Twitter thread out of it or anything. And so what essentially I would have done is I would have summarized 5 to 6 different posts. I would have created a new post out of it. I would have created a checklist out of that new post. And I would have also commented on that post. And I would not even have touched my keyboard while I'm doing all of this stuff. So this is essentially how powerful Robin can be if you really get into it and use it in a very comprehensive manner. But yeah, this was a overview of the DAO manager. A bunch of other things are pretty easy to understand. Like you can comment, of course, on a post how it should be. You can upvote or downvote them. And the XP points, the entire mechanism, you can actually create a leaderboard out of it. So like anyone who has the maximum XP points, probably they can only get access to an executive bounty, for example. For example, whosoever has more than 200 XP points should be able to participate in an executive bounty, something like that. So it's completely up to you how you'd like to set up the engagement of the community on such kind of a platform. So folks, this was a quick overview. Bunch of other things, like if you'll try this platform out, you'll figure out like there are notifications so that you won't even miss out if someone tags you, there's a new bounties creator or something like that. And you can also like have a look at your own profile. You can see like anyone's profile, you can have a look at that. You can see what contributions they have done, what for example, this is my profile, so I can see what I've really connected to my profile, what all communities I have joined, so on and so forth. So yeah, that's it. And I'm opening up for questions. Would love to hear what the community thinks about the DAO manager.
Super awesome.
Definitely.
Anyone with any questions? Coke, is that you?
No, I love the UX. So awesome.
Yeah, I
Thank
see
you.
a lot
Thank
of things. I see a lot of things that you all have incorporated that a lot of other DAO managers have not, and that's really awesome to see. I love seeing the events, the spaces, the yeah, really cool stuff.
Yep. The idea is essentially to make it super easy for folks to operate within a DAO because like everything is scattered right now. We just don't want it to be like that.
Right. Thank you for the presentation. Definitely agree. Information scattered. It's really hard to find things when you need it and to make sense. I'm curious, is there a fee for this platform?
Right. So until now, we are not really charging the platform for the time being, but we've been receiving quite a good amount of traction from the space entirely. So we are working on a pricing structure, which will be announced pretty soon on our website as well. So essentially, it will be a freemium model. So a couple of features or modules will be available for absolutely free for any community to try out, including discussions, including some credits of Robin AI and a few other modules here and there. But apart from that, there will be a premium kind of a model, which will basically have everything that you see on the DAO manager and a lot more things as well. Then there's an ecosystem pricing for, you know, ecosystems altogether. Like if Polygon wants to use it to manage all the bunch of different projects within, in that case, it will be an ecosystem that's an enterprise pricing. So we'll be launching that pricing structure pretty soon.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Perfect. Any further questions?
Yeah. Anyone have any more questions for our guest? Amenak?
Sorry, Musashi, pardon. Were you speaking something to me?
Oh, I was covering my mic. Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah. Does anyone have any other questions or comments for Amenak?
Yeah, I've got another one UI based. Is there dark mode?
Oh, it's coming up pretty soon. Like it's the
Oh
team is just working
yeah.
on it, and it will be here pretty
Nice.
soon. Like there have been a lot of people asking for the dark mode. Essentially, like at the very beginning, we were not really working on it, but we know dark mode is really essential. Like I mean, especially for me, my eyesight is like pathetic, so dark mode really helps. It's
Yeah,
coming up for sure. I'm also dropping
gotcha.
the link over here, folks. Like, feel free to check the platform out. It's absolutely self-serve actually. You can just get started by creating a profile really quickly and getting started with a test community probably. So feel free to check it out.
Dude, I've got a tab open already, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I started one up for Mullet Cloud Ship, and we haven't
Sweet.
started fully utilizing yet, but we got the bot in there. It's already letting us know who's active in our DAO, even though we're not playing with it yet. So yeah, really excited to get it going.
Amazing.
Yeah, and Amanek, you're free to drop some of your own links too, so our members and others who watch this can maybe follow you and maybe friend request you and send you any messages we want to bug you with.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I would love to connect with folks over here. Like, if you have any kind of questions, if you just want to talk about DAOs in general, let's chat for sure. My Discord is, of course, there for us to connect, but I'm also dropping my Twitter over here. Let's connect over there as well and stay in touch. Would love to connect with you folks for sure. Perfect. Any further questions, guys? Anyone?
I don't see any in the chat.
Oh, I just dropped it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Love what you're building. I love all the integrations, all the functionality that you've built into it already. It looks pretty robust, pretty functional. Looks like a system that will, I know you're still building on it, but already it's looks to be a very effective DAO manager.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Musashi. And of course, a bunch of things we are continuing to do, so there'll be a lot to come for sure.
Yeah, we'll be happy to be keeping in touch and building together.
Definitely, definitely.
Well, I think we kind of concluded our community call right on time. That's rare. Thanks everyone for coming. I'm out here at Rizzlefest, so I'm probably gonna hop off pretty early. I like to hang out later, but I'm gonna go throw some knives.
Oh yes, please do enjoy Rizzlefest and send me some pictures, man. I saw a picture of you. I saw a picture of you with Ben's doggy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get on that decentralized media because then you'll see me. Musashi.1 or Musashi13.lens. It's all I've been posted.
Oh, on Lens?
Yeah. I don't give
Oh,
a
let me
shit
see it.
about Twitter, bro.
Yeah, man. I had to check it out.
Exclusive content, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, bro. Decentralized first. I might get to the centralized
Yeah.
shit, but if I don't, fuck it.
I'm really happy because today it arrived at a camera that I won on Twitter like a month ago. I won a webcam, and I'm going to see if I can, um, you know, grab it in these
Ooh.
days, take the package, and do an unboxing, and post it on Lens, and then do a video with my webcam and the microphones, and post it on Lens. I think that's great. I'm going to
Nice.
start doing exclusive on Lens too, or at least cross posting from there.
Good job. Leveling up. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, super beautiful. And what a lucky moment. I won the camera because the first winner never appeared and show up. So he made the raffle again, and I won the second try. And I didn't believe it was truth, but it was. And now it's here. Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Woohoo! All right, y'all. I'm gonna hop off. Love seeing y'all, and have a great
Enjoy the
day.
day. Yes.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, enjoy yourself.
Yes, Musashi. Have a good one.
Woo, 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 woo. Oh yeah. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you for stopping by here
Yeah.
with us. It's Friday. Get some fries. You know how we do it.
Friday.
Friday.
Oh yay!
Damn, I straight up missed the whole community call, didn't I?
It's all right, bro. I'm about to
Damn.
stop recording right now.
Perfect. Right on.